Hey friends, it is Thursday, October 26th. The bad news is you're not in class. The good news is you know where to go for help. So what we're working on today is Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 is there an easier way? So yesterday we looked at multiplying fractions, and we looked at making area models. And now we're going to look at maybe an easier way to multiply fractions. So our learning targets for today, we will use a standard algorithm for multiplying fractions and use generic rectangles to multiply mixed numbers. So what does that mean for you? Success criteria. Number one, can you multiply two fractions with an area model? Okay. Number two, can you use standard multiplication rules? We're going to talk about those. And then number three, can you multiply mixed numbers? So when you come in today, we're going to do our fast bridge warm-up. That's going to be 8, 9, 10 minutes. Okay. And the quicker we get started, the more efficient we are, the quicker that we can finish up with our warm-up. From there, we're working on our classwork, 295, 296, and then 297, 298, 299. What we're going to do with that is we're going to give you about 5 minutes just to work on your own. You can't work with anyone else. And you have to read all your problems. You got to work out as much as you can in 5 minutes. Then, for the next 10 minutes, you're going to work with your group on these problems. And as you're working on those problems, you are going to be using your cups. And then the cups just indicate 295, 296, 297, 298, and then 299. If you are on problem 295, blue, 296, green, 297, 298, 299, that's red. And then when you're done, flip them all over. And then I know where everyone is at, and I can gauge it that way. So then we're going to go through all those problems together. Let me take a look at them real quick. 295 looks like this. This says, while working in class, Stephanie had to do the problem 3/5 times 6/7. She started to draw the rectangle to solve the problem. Stephanie looked over at Aubrey's work and saw that Aubrey was way ahead of her. Hey, how did you get so far ahead of me? Why aren't you drawing rectangles for those problems? I remembered a shortcut, Audrey said. Did you notice that when we drew the rectangles, we got the same thing as if we multiplied the numerators and then multiplied the denominators? I just did 3 times 6, the numerators, is 18, and 5 times 7, the denominators, that's 35. So I got 18/35. It was a lot faster. So when I saw these problems, I decided I wasn't going to draw the rectangles with all those little pieces. Now we have to check this with a rectangle model. What information does multiplying 5 times 7 tell you? What does the information multiplying 3 by 6 tell you? And then we're going to work out these problems. Okay. Rana is making a small waterbed. That's 3.5 feet by 1.5 feet. She needs to find the area so she can add the correct amount of fertilizer to the soil. On your paper, draw the rectangle shown at right, and then complete the parts. Write the area up in each of the 4 parts in the drawing, and then find the total area. Write an equation that represents the sum, and what multiplication problem could you use to solve this problem. Okay, so now they're getting into some mixed numbers, right? So it's a little bit different. Then we say use this process in the previous problem. Find the area of Ronan's flower bed if the dimensions are 1.5 by 5 1/3. Label all the dimensions. Write the multiplication problem that can be used to solve this problem. And the last one that we're going to do on your own, and then in your small group, and then in the class. As Jonique was working in class, she had to do the problems 2 1/3 times 3 1/4. She did not want to draw rectangles. However, she thinks she has figured out a shortcut for multiplying mixed numbers. She said, actually, she boasted, I know how to change mixed numbers into fractions. This will make the problem much easier. And this is what she did. She said 2.5 times 3 1/4 is the same as 2 times 2 plus 1, 5 halves, times 4 times 3 plus 1, 13/4. She multiplied them through. She has 65/8. She knows that 8 goes into 65 8 times. That's 64, right? 8 times 8 is 64. 1 left over, denominator of 8. So then it says, using Jonique's shortcut, show each step in the following problems. 3.5 times 1.5, 1 1/3 times 2.5, 1 1/3 times 3 1/3. Then compare those with the generic rectangle problems methods in 297. What do you prefer? Do you like the models, or do you like the traditional multiplying fraction? I've got that, whatever that is, that chest thing, that dry cough. I've had it for like 3 weeks now, and it just kind of hangs on. It's not bad, it just stays around. Okay, so then I'm thinking this will be close to our time. So we're going to do one of two things. If we have a lot of time left, we're going to start into our homework. That's 2-101 through 105. Okay, and we'll still have the cups for 2-101 through 105, so I can tell how you're working. These are the cups. And if we don't have time, we're going to go to closure. And closure question is going to be this. Does 4 1/3 times 2 2/5, does that equal 8 2/15? Does 4 1/3 times 2 2/5 equal 8 2/15? That's what we're talking about in closure. And then if we do get to homework, that's 101 through 105. Multiplying mixed numbers. Ooh, multiplying a fraction times a whole number. All right. Using the method above to mentally solve these. Then this one. When going on a field trip, a busload of 54 students will have to be split into 3 groups. 2/3 will go on lunch first. 1/3 will visit the exhibits. How many will go to lunch first? Write an equation to represent the problem. Remember, need a little bit of help? Got to get kick-started? Got to shake the rust off? Go ahead and check your homework out. That's what it's there for. Okay? Oh, I see a flash up, but there we go. And you can get your hints through here. All right. Next, if you get that far, draw coordinate grids. Remember, the first number is the x-axis, that's across, and then the second number is the y-axis. That's up and down. Okay? Cool. That's all we got for today. I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday. I hope you are well, and I hope we will see you on Friday. We miss you when we do not see you. All right, friends, this is Mr. Johnson from 2.2.6. Is there an easier way? Have a beautiful Thursday.